right, okay, listen. The other class was pretty weak. I'm expecting better. Class?
Yes.
Woo! That was pretty good right there. All right, so I know we don't have people playing on their phone right now because I might have to straight up just throw something because I'm trying to get y'all to pass, so I need you paying attention. Put the phone away. Anyway, all right, so inverse circular functions, you have your unit circle out because this is going to be easy. Now, we got a whole bunch of blah, 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 blah. So, right here, circular functions, okay, function, blah, horizontal line test. Horizontal goes left and right, okay? Watch this. So here, horizontal line test, we have a function right here. I could draw a horizontal line anywhere here. It's not going to cross it twice. So, está muy bien. This is 1 to 1. This one, x squared, I could draw a horizontal line multiple places here and cross my line twice, right? So because of that, this one is not 1 to 1. Okay, that's what you need to know. That has to do with inverses. I think there's like one question on the test that has something to do with this. You just have to remember that. So, es muy bueno, es no bueno. All right, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I'm going to go to this. So, right here we have our unit circle. There's my unit circle.
That's a good circle.
Thank you. Now, unit circle, and we're only going to be dealing with, for arc sine, is only going to be between pi over 2 and negative pi over 2. So it's only from here to here. Only from there to there. Okay? So that means this is going to be quadrant 1 and quadrant 4. Okay, this will make more sense in a moment here. Are you ready? It says y equals, find y in each equation, arc sine of 1/2. So what you do, you have your unit circle in front of you? Yes. Sine is what variable? It's the y value. Sine is the y value. So now, on your unit circle, what quadrants am I going to look at? 1 and 4. Only looking at quadrant 1 and 4, find me the location that the y value is positive 1/2. Or if it's in degrees, I would say what?
30.
Please, like, just yeah.
I circled it. It must be done.
Is that why you assign so much homework? 'Cause it's easy?
It's super easy, and it's just practice with it. And so if you know your x, y's, and r's, you could do secant, cosecant, and all those other ones.
Oh, so that's what we're gonna have to do, huh?
Some of them. Okay, if I gave you a secant, what would you do with it?
I don't know. That has to be.
What is secant? Okay. 1 over x, right?
Yeah.
But is secant on my unit circle?
No.
Say no. What would I do to make it be on my unit circle?
Like the one that's on there?
1 times.
How about flipping it over? Remember, secant is the reciprocal of cosine. Secant's reciprocal of cosine. So if you get any of these other ones, all you have to do is flip them over. Okay, next one. This right here, it means the exact same thing. So this is saying arc sine negative 1. All right, okay, get back to it. So it means the same thing. So inverse sine and arc sine means the same thing. So on your unit circle, on your unit circle, find where, it says sine, right? That's my y value. Where's my y equal to negative 1? No.
Negative 90.
Negative 90. Why is it negative 90?
What are you doing to me?
Why is it negative 90?
Would it also be negative pi over 2?
Or because 270 is outside, right? So according to this, it's only between pi over 2 and negative pi over 2. So 3 pi over 2 is that is too far out of my circle, isn't it?
Isn't 270 the bottom line right there?
Yes.
It's like, it's not greater than or equal to, it's like less than, but not equal to.
Okay. I'm gonna draw a graph slightly different. So this is gonna be a line graph this time.
Wait, so if it's positive and the number on the unit circle, whatever your answer is, it has to be negative because that's negative, like your number. Does that make sense? So if the equation is negative and then the number on the unit circle is positive, you have to make the number on the unit circle negative because your equation's negative.
Give me 1 second. Let me do this. I'm not saying no. Just give me a second because I'm trying to concentrate on not messing this one up. Okay. I said my interval or domain for those people not on their phones is from where to where? Negative pi over 2 to pi over 2, right? Isn't that from here to here, right? Okay, so back to this. So from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2, right? So where did you say this is at on my unit circle? You said 3 pi over 2, right? Isn't that way over here? That's outside of the interval where I'm allowed. And if I were to graph this, which I will right now, so this is sine, right? So sine goes like this. Wait, no. Sine starts at 0. Okay, yeah, sine starts at 0. So it goes... Hey, hey!
Where you want this at, sir?
Oh, man, just right here. Right here.
All right there.
I don't know what it is. Okay, thank you. It's my new microwave. Anyway. Wow, that's an ugly thing. Anyway, so let's take a look. This is the wave, right? This is the wave. If I were to graph this on my calculator, this is what it looks like. And the interval that I'm only allowed to use is from here to here. So in between -1 and 1. So the maximum would be 1. The minimum would be -1. So that's only what I'm allowed. So if I were to go beyond that, it would be outside of the interval of what was allowed. Does that make sense or no? Is that better? So I'm going back to this. And right here, since it's negative, this point right here is going to be a 0, -1, right? It is that point, but I'm only counting it backwards. So I can only count it this way or positive going this way. So on top, the y values are all positive, aren't they?
Right.
On bottom, in quadrant 4, the y values are,
Negative.
they're all negative. So if I have a positive, it's in quadrant 1. If I have negative, it's in quadrant 4.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
A little bit better? Yes.
So basically, you're saying it can't be 3 pi over 2 because that would be from 0 going all the way around.
Yes.
Not from 0 going.
There we go. Yes.
Okay.
So we're only allowed to go here. So if this is 0, right here, 0. Wow. There we go. Let's try this again. 0. All right. This number right here and this number. Let's start with my first number. What's the first one going up?
Pi over 6.
Pi over 6, right? So by counting this, if I count up 1, it's pi over 6. But if I count down 1, that's going to be negative pi over 6. Very good. So negative pi over 6. Does that make sense? By counting it forward, then counting the same backwards, because they're all uniform all the way around. So whatever we would go forward, we just go that many backwards. So I'm going to do these ones. So we have pi over 4 and pi over 3. So pi over 4 is up 2, 1, 2. And going down 2 is my negative pi over 4. Same thing goes over here. So down here, this would be a negative pi over 3. And just like this one over here is my negative pi over 2. Does that make sense?
I just don't get why it says something like why does it say something different on the
Oh, because we're counting backwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're counting backwards now. Because remember, if we go backwards, these are negatives.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, there we go. So we are right here. So this is going to give me y equals negative pi over 2, or my answer in degrees would be negative 90 degrees.
Okay, so that's what I was asking. Why is it negative if it's positive on the unit circle? So I'm saying if the answer, like for B, it says negative 1, we have to change the answer that's on the unit
Okay,
circle.
okay. See this right here? See this right here?
Uh-huh.
I'm looking for negative 1. And sine is the y value, right?
Yeah.
Find where the y value is negative 1.
That's what you
At the
said.
bottom, right? It's not 270. It's not 270. So the same location that 270 happens is right here, isn't it? It's right there, right? That's the same location. But since I'm not going all the way around to 270, I'm going from here this way. So I could only call it as negative pi over 2. And then the next one's going to be, you know, if I go up this way, it would be a positive pi over 2. So I'm only allowed this and this for these answers. So if you have anything in the fourth quadrant here, it would be a negative angle.
Oh, and it's positive up there, so okay.
Yeah, so the angle's negative because I'm going backwards. Yes?
No.
No?
I get it.
Well,
Or-
I don't get how if you're going all the way down, it's not like 180 at the bottom. It's a straight line down. You're going all the way around.
No, we start here, remember?
Oh, you start right there.
Yes, that's
oh,
0.
Okay, yeah,
That's
now
why.
I get it.
Okay. So let's take a look at, where am I at? There we go. So this one right here. Again, this is my y value, right?
Right.
This is the y value. And so I'm going to look on my unit circle for my y value to be what?
Hey,
What's negative 2? The, which one am I looking at? What am I looking at? Okay, but if I'm dealing with sine or arc sine, what variable does that mean? Yes, that's a y, right? So I want to find on my unit circle, where my y value is equal to negative 2. So find it.
So can I put that on the calculator?
No.
I'm gonna wait.
You were just talking just once, so I took a little break, you know? That's it.
Okay, so where's it at in the unit circle then?
What?
It's not.
I didn't find it, it's not on there because there's no negative 2.
Good job. And so my answer would be what?
Undivided.
Close. Not undefined. But you said, you had it first when you said it's not on there.
No answer?
Does not exist.
Does not exist because it's not on there, right?
Alright.
Because the y value on my unit circle, there is no y values on my unit circle that is equal to just negative 2, right?
Exactly.
The largest y value on my unit circle is what? Is 1 or down to negative 1, right? So I can't go all the way to 2 or negative 2. So that one does not exist. Does that make sense now? Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So some more blahs. Blah 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 blah. Here. All right.
Which one was it?
Okay. This one is arc cosine. And my arc cosine goes from 0 to pi. So in quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. So it only goes from here to here. Now, what do we know about the, remember, cosine is my x values, right?
Right.
What do we know about the x values in quadrant 1?
Positive.
Positive. What do we know about the x values in quadrant 2?
Negative.
There we go. So I'm only looking in these two quadrants here for answers, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So then, when, you know how in the problem before when it was arc sine, we started at 0, then from there would we start at pi over 2, and then would it be positive and negative, or would we start from the 0 and it would be positive and
From 0
Okay. Okay.
to pi. That's it. You're overthinking it.
So, okay, so that would be
So then,
Arc cosine. Arc cosine. So cosine is which variable? X. It's x value, right? So I want to find where my x value is 1. And I'm only going to look in what quadrants?
1 and 2.
1 and 2. Go find it.
found it.
So my answer is
2 pi.
no.
0.
0 degrees or 0 pi.
2 pi is
2 pi, yes. 2 pi goes all the way around.
Oh.
And I only start at 0 and I go only to pi. 2 pi is too far. Is that easy now?
Yes.
Now this one here says arc cosine so again, cosine is which variable? It's the x value, right?
Right.
Find it, and it's in quadrant 1 or 2? Quadrant 2. Okay, so my answer is going to be y equals 135 degrees, or
Do you have to put 2 answers, or can you just put either
I'm
one?
doing both, because sometimes it's going to ask for one or the other. So I'm trying to do both, and since it's right there on the unit circle and it already says it, might as well. Does that make sense? Questions? Let's do another one then. Actually, no. Let's don't do another one. All right. So blah blah blah. Okay. Even better. Even better. Because we don't have examples for the other one, so I might as well just talk about it. What would I do if I saw something that said secant? Arc secant of 2. Not opposite. Use the right words.
you would just put, because it's secant is technically 2 over 1, so you put 1 over 2 and then look for that.
Yep. Secant is, this is 2 over 1, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would rewrite this as
Cosine.
arc cosine of,
1/2.
just flip it over.
Wow.
The ones that you're going to have for tangent, you're going to have to do a little bit of math. Tangent and cotangent. So tangent of 30, it's always y over x, right? And at 30, the y value is 1/2 the x value is rad 3 over 2. So that's 1/2 times the reciprocal, which is 2 over rad 3. Right?
Yes.
1 over rad 3. Do I leave that?
No.
No, why?
Yeah, right.
Rationalize. Rad 3 over rad 3. So it's going to be rad 3 over.
3.
Okay, so that's going to give me the values at 30, right? So at tan 30, or tan, what else is 30? Pi over
X. I'm 6.
pi over 6, right? So this was not on my unit circle. It's not, is it? So that's one that you're going to have to do, and you could set it up. That's what it's there for. And what about 60? What about 60? So if it was tangent of 60, if you notice, I'm not doing inverses. I'm just helping you get the value that's going to be on that you're looking for to find the angle that goes with it. So again, y over x, which is rad 3 over 2 divided by 1/2. Rad 3 over 2 times 2 over 1. Just rad 3, or rad 3 over 1. So if I have this value here, what do I end up with? If I have this value here, that goes back to give me what value? If I had this, how would I inverse this?
Oh, so it would be just rad 3 over 3?
No.
To inverse it, because you end up with 1 over rad.
No,
Oh,
no.
no. 3 over 1. 1 of rad 3 over 1.
60. Because you're trying to find it on the unit circle, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to find this on the unit circle.
I said pi over 3.
You didn't say pi over 3?
Yes, I did.
You said fight like something, like a girl or something.
No, man.
Hey, I could go back to the recording.
That man said-
No, did you say that though?
Pi over 3.
Oh, you did say. I'm sorry.
Yes, I was confused.
I apologize. I did not hear that. I heard you were going to fight something. Okay. I apologize there. But yeah. So, right here, since there was an example like this, I'm going to tell you that arctangent of rad 3 is going to give me what? 60
Or pi over 3.
or pi over 3, right? Does that make more sense now? So that's the reason why I did this first, because it gives you your end answer that's on my unit circle, and we're trying to find the angle this time. All the other times we've been given the angle, we have to find the end result. So now we're going backwards from this. All right, that being said, you will make sure that you right here. If you look right here, you could do all of these now. You could do all these. So if I'm doing an arc sine, it's in quadrant 1 and 4. If you're doing an arc cosine, it's in 1 and 2. If you're doing an arc tangent, 1 and 4. Arc cotangent, 1 and 2. Arc secant, 1 and 2. Arc cosecant, 1 and 4. So that's telling you the location. This is actually on the reference sheet too. If you ever lose it, it is, this table specifically is on the reference sheet. Yep. All right. Any other questions? Okay, flip. You see it there? Is it there? Jay Quillen, it's not there? It's not there? What's not there? Why isn't it there? I don't know either. All right, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification button, and